Have you ever had a dreams that you had you
You what you could do, you what you want, you do what you want, you could do something you want, you want.
On the 30th of April 2015, a resident of Portland, Oregon would suddenly encounter strange flyers around the city. The signs simply ask if you've been having strange dreams, and if you have, to report them to a mysterious phone number. After posting their discovery on Reddit, attention on this quickly ramped up. However, it seemed to fade away just as rapidly. Interestingly, 5 years later, these flyers have returned, sparking interest once again. But this time, evidence has surfaced that the culprit behind these postings just might be linked to a modern-day cult. It was a warm summer evening. Off the heels of the Kids Chat investigation, I was out clearing my head. It's safe to say that since then my email inbox has been blown up regarding other rabbit holes in the same vein. It's been pretty impossible to get to each and every one of you, but just know, I hear you. I see them, and we will expose each and every sick website we can. I get a notification. This one isn't about Kids Chat though. It's got something to do with creepy flyers around Portland, which, now that I'm thinking about it, reminds me of something that gave me nightmares years ago. It was 2008. We were living in an age preceding the widespread social interconnectivity of late. The internet was clinging to the Wild West era by nothing but a thread. A mystery gripped the world, sending it spiraling into a years-long hunt for one man. This man. Have you ever dreamt of this man? Well, have you? For the better part of a year, a niche little website in an obscure corner of the internet lied dormant, untouched and virtually unseen. It told of a story involving a New York psychiatry patient and the strange dreams that they'd repeatedly have about a man with a strange face. The man's purportedly keen on providing life advice to the patient, although she's never met or laid eyes on anyone similar to him in her life. An odd turn of events for sure. The psychiatrist places their rough sketch of the man on their desk for a few days, and as it turned out, further patients were quick to notice. They too had seen this man in their dreams. And so it began. Brazil, Paris, Poland, Morocco, San Francisco, South Korea, Austin, Texas, La Habana, Cuba, London, Washington, Rome, and New Zealand. This man was everywhere. With nothing but a question, a face, a quick summary, and a website address, the flyer information was easily digestible and was short enough to remember it until you got back home. Having visited this site a few times during my teenage years, it's bringing back some anxiety. God, I don't know what it is, but every page, did they really have to make him stare at you on every page? I hate it, God, I hate it. Anyway, the website fleshes out the information presented on the flyer with a call to action to contact the administrators via email. That is, if you ever saw him. As it turned out, over 10,000 people did. And they shared their sightings, dreams, visions, whatever you want to call it. And with that, the widespread consensus was that this man was undoubtedly real. I mean, people have seen him, right? I hate to do this to you, but this man, he's not real. I know, I'm sorry. It was a marketing stunt. So why did I bring this up? Why am I discussing a 12-year-old internet phenomenon on a video about bizarre flyers around Portland? Well, like I said, I wanted to establish this foundation as a precursor to where we're headed, because of very, very similar phenomenons happening in the real world right now, and you just might have seen it without even knowing it. (2015) At 10:38 a.m. on the morning of April 30th, a Redditor by the name of Marcus Yallow would jump into the r/creepy subreddits, inquiring on an odd flyer that they'd stumbled upon in Oregon. Have you been having strange dreams? A real sign found in Portland. And the image attached, reading, Have you been having strange dreams? The Willamette Valley Dream Survey is investigating a recent spike in bizarre, unexplainable dreams. If you've been experiencing any unusual dream activity, you can help by reporting a summary. Please call 971-258-1465 with a description of your dream. No other context was provided. No organization, no name, not even a deadline. Upon calling the number, which is surprisingly still active, you're merely met with this.
Thank you for calling the Willamette Valley Dream Survey. Please leave a detailed account of your dream after the tone. Transcripts or audio from your report may be duplicated in other media.
The post went on to garner a considerable amount of attention, racking up around 1.9 thousand upvotes and 277 comments. Responses were mostly comprised of personal accounts of bizarre dreams that Redditors were having shortly before this was posted, which made it seem that much stranger to them. Out of all of these, though, one reply would stand out. Posted by a user named Knox Harrington. It reads, A quick Google search brings up the number for a children's German summer camp immersion program, although it does appear that the number may have since changed. The website is germansummercamp.org. No idea if this is an old number or some creepy death camp. Interest peaked. Heading over to the URL presents us with a considerably dated website run by Sophie Scholl-Schule, a German language immersion program. As of writing, they appear to be advertising open registration for their 2020 events from July 12th to the 17th, so it is still active. Digging through the website doesn't bring up any red flags either. The reviews that I was able to find about this camp all seem mostly positive, so I'm left curious as to why something as simple as a summer camp would be broadcasting interest in a cryptic dream survey. Eventually, I was led to an article by a website named Oregon Live, posted on the same day as Marcus's Reddit post. They discussed the exact same story and mostly retraced the same steps that we did, with the exact same question. Who are the ones behind this? Interestingly, they were able to get in contact with a Sophie Scholl-Schule official that claimed that the number was a Google phone account that the school no longer uses. All we do is German. I can see why you're checking into this. That's one weird poster. Going by the camp's track record, I honestly believe it. It seemed like a stretch to think that they'd be the ones behind this as it was, and even digging through their website's archive shows us that the contact number listed doesn't match up with that of the flyer, even as far back as 2013. And just like that, we're back to ground zero. Interest in this strange flyer died down as most trends do, and we were all left with those two lingering questions. Why are these flyers here? And who in the world is behind this? On the 29th of April 2020, the Dream Survey mystery would encounter new life. That evening, a user named AliensDid9LL would jump into the r/non-murder mysteries subreddits with an eerily familiar question. Saw this strange poster this morning in Utah and looked up the survey name, and a poster with the same format was put up around Oregon in 2015. Anyone know anything about this? Accompanying this was a photo of a new flyer that heavily resembled the former. It contained the same question and the same description, but instead was advertising for a dream survey in Happy Valley, a nickname for the Salt Lake City region in Utah. Now, the resurrection of a years-old mystery for newfound clout isn't something unforeseen. Going into this, it's easy to pass this off as some sort of game jacker that might have encountered the Willamette Valley version. But one glaring flaw exists in that thought process. Shortly after posting this, a user named OneRegit actually called the number and recorded their entire conversation. His post went forth to gain some considerable traction, but before he could give any sort of legitimate follow-up, both he and AliensDid9LL vanished. To me, this effectively nullifies the potential of someone doing this for internet clout. Why would someone resurrect such a bizarre mystery before getting the hell out? Did something happen to them? Or was that attention intended to be directed not towards them, but somewhere else? In the mix of speculation, some Redditors recalled a few things that both OneRegit and AliensDid9LL would claim over and over like they had a guilty conscience. Something by the name of Fattel. Whatever it was, both OneRegit and AliensDid9LL made absolute damn sure that you knew that it was not Fattel. Let's check out Fattel. So it appears to me that they connect payphones across Portland to a Wi-Fi receiver, allowing anyone that utilizes one to make free phone calls. Apparently these things have automated menus with both specific phone numbers you can call and a free dial option if you'd like to call someone else. These phones effectively hide in plain sight, appearing to be nothing more than derelict relics of years past. Their websites, which admittedly provides more questions than answers, describes their service as the following. At Fattel, we believe in the preservation of public telephone hardware as a means of providing access to the Agora for everybody, and toward that goal, we're privileged to provide free telephone calls, voicemail, and telephone-mediated services. We do not judge the motivations of our users or who they choose to call. If they don't have someone to call, we can provide a presence on the other end. Denial of telephony services has long been a tactic used against undesirable populations, and our devices will counteract that. But more importantly, we will help to establish a new era of communication, one in which reaching out is not only desirable, but mandatory. To what extent are our interactions mediated by intelligent machines? Who's doing the talking when we let them decide who we interact with and what constitutes appropriate topics of communication? We believe that the time has come to greet each other not with our heads down, staring at our hands and begging for the permission of the minds that oversee our networks, but proudly, standing tall, with our eyes open and aware of our surroundings. We are primarily driven by the basic needs that we see on the streets every day, by giving something away that's cheap for us but valuable to the recipients. But we hope that we can also build a Tower of Babel on top of that, a monument of telephones and switching networks and cascading psychological structures which will give the community something else as well, something we may not appreciate until it's forever changed us. Now, their mission seems noble: provide phone access to communities that need them. The way they execute this, though, is an entirely different oddity within itself. A writer named Rory Elliott for a student newspaper named PCC Bridge actually went Futel phone booth hunting in May of 2019. They recount their experience in an article, claiming that there's an entire world of bizarre and mystical interactivity laid beyond each key. Stunned, we explored all the different ways we could travel the winding roads within the world of Futel. By dialing 3 for the directory, you're given the option to call the mayor, the Druid of Sisyphus Gardens, the Apology Line, the Willamette Valley Dream Survey, and more. Interesting. What in the world would a free phone service have to do with something as elusive as Dream Survey flyers? Given the fact that the phone number is mapped to a single button in their automated menu, also gives rise to the possibility that these people either are the ones behind this, or know someone who might be. Curious for more, I looked up Futel and Dream Survey on Google and stumbled upon a 2016 blog post also referencing this phenomenon. My first Futel phone. There was no dial tone, just a recorded menu that includes the mayor's office, the 211 social services and resource finder, a general repository for apologies, and other options. I chose the Willamette Valley Dream Survey and reported last night's dream. No big deal, right? Just a random phone booth run by a startup company that has some sort of random dream survey mapped to its automated menu. Nothing to see here, right? Anyway, so far Futel is my best bet. This is the only organization with a direct link to the surveys, so I have a funny feeling that they know more than they're letting on. In my attempt to get to the bottom of this, I spammed their Twitter begging for a DM, emailed their company address numerous times, and even joined their official Patreon just to get in contact with them. My God, please DM me back, Senpai. So I anxiously waited. Weird dreams involving my friend getting possessed, the earth losing its natural rotation velocity and spinning out of control, and buildings snapping in half while I was in them kept me up consistently. And I felt like I'd possibly gotten myself into a rabbit hole that I shouldn't have. The days turned to weeks. I waited. I walked my dog. I waited. Played some New Horizons. I waited. I battled COVID. I waited. And I just kept waiting. They say that history repeats itself, and so that rings true again. I'd be lying if I told you that it doesn't eat away at me when I get this invested into a mystery that ends up dying. We've seen it before with countless OPs, except this time, that OP is Futel. Come on, throw me a bone. Give me something. Send me a tweet, an email, prank call me with a private number. Give me something. But of course, I listen, I wait, I refresh, and I get nothing. When I try to check on Aliens Did 9LL or 1Reddit, it's more the same. While I'll admit the brick wall looks nice from down here, the hindrance is a bit annoying. Reddit's keen on keeping this impenetrable barrier over accounts of days past, preventing me from gaining any sort of follow-up on what might have happened to them. I have to figure out what happens when you call though, and so it appears that I'm left with no other option than to call the Happy Valley Dream Survey myself. Any attempts at contacting an organization in which you have no idea who or what they are should be met with caution. I found this ad for a burner phone from Walmart's, and I know of the perfect hidden spot to give them a call. Perfect for this case. If they try any stupid shit, they're not gonna find me.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Do this.
Let's do this.
All right. This is a good spot. You think?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Okay.
I don't think they'll be able to track you or anything out here.
I think they'll find us out here, hopefully. Okay. Let's see. Any last words?
So, I just want to say I enjoy the dreams that I currently have, and I'm really looking forward to having a long life of really happy, wonderful dreams that are not haunted by some mysterious figure that everybody seems to make references to.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's about to happen, but I'm actually kind of on pins and needles. I really want to hear what happens on this phone call.
This phone number made people disappear on Reddit. People vanished after calling this number. Apparently it's connected to a cult. Apparently.
I'm
So, anyway, I got it dialed.
there we go. Okay, yeah, got it right there. Yep.
All right, we got it
the number.
dialed. Burner phone, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, this is literally in the middle of nowhere. This is about as far into the boonies as you can get into this on this part of town.
All right, you ready for this?
As ready as I am gonna be.
All right, let's do it.
Please leave a detailed description of your dream at the tone.
Tell me the last thing you dreamed.
So about 3 weeks ago, I was, I took some ZQuil and I was sleeping, and I had a dream about, I was in a parking lot at a mall in a futuristic vehicle, and it had one of those big infotainment screens, and there was twilight outside, and I remember the parking lot was really full. There was a lot of cars and stuff. There were a lot of people in the mall parking lot that were leaving, and they were getting in their cars and all that, and just wrapping up the day. Anyway, it was twilight out, sun was going down, and it was really big. Like, it was way bigger than it usually is. Like, it was a huge sunset. Anyway, the infotainment screen actually showed the weather and the time of day, like where the sun was in relation to the earth, and it was kind of strange. I don't know why I dreamt that up, but I did. And out of nowhere, one of those like blinking warning signs popped up right next to the sun on the screen, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, that's really weird. And then all of a sudden, the earth started like the wind started getting crazy, and the wind just was blowing like crazy, and then the sun just dropped. Like the earth was like the earth, like someone took the earth and spun it 180 degrees, and instantaneously it became like nighttime. Everyone was like looking outside like, what the hell is going on, and they were freaking out. And yeah, then I woke up. So that's my scary dream, or that's my strange dream. And yeah, thank you so much.
So I think the thing that freaks me out the most about all this...
Dude!
What?
Dude!
They send you something
They sent me a
already?
message.
What's it say? Read it out loud.
Okay, so it says, thank you for leaving a voicemail and participating in the Happy Valley Dream Survey.
Okay. Dude, what I was going to say is what's really kind of making me nervous the most about all this is how little information they give you on what it is you're signing up for. Like, that's what freaks me out.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen. Supposedly they call you back at 3 in the morning, and you know, if you answer, then you answer. If you don't, then they leave a voicemail or something. I think.
Well, we all know nothing abnormal happens in Utah, so.
Yeah, right. Anyway. Yeah, so apparently, yeah, they're gonna call me back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, Jim got curious.
Yeah, I'm watching you do that. I really kind of want to see what happens here. So I'm going to try and dial this number. I need the number from you, though.
Well, it should be in the recent calls. So if you just
got it.
Redial.
So this is the phone right here?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't know if I would say I'm nervous, but I'm. Honestly, now that you ask me that, like, there's a little bit of anxiety, like a little bit of anticipation. So it's this number right here. That's weird. They said it was out of Utah. Looks like it's a Nevada number. Let's give this a shot here.
Give a detailed description of your dream at the tone.
I'm gonna tell them about a dream I had as a kid.
Oh,
Hi.
God.
So my dream is one that I've had a few times throughout my life. And it always seems to revolve around, like, swimming in the earth, which is really weird. Where, you know, when I was a kid, I had this dream, and it's happened a few times since then, where I'll be walking outside. I'll be in, like, a field, or, like, when I was a kid, I'd be on the playground at school, and all of a sudden I start seeing, like, whales and animals, like the dirt and the grass and just the earth is like the surface of an ocean, like it's got like waves on it, and I start seeing like whales and dolphins and all sorts of stuff kind of breaching the surface and kind of going back into water, and then I start sinking into the earth and I start swimming along with them. And there's never really been any kind of story to it, like anything that progresses. It's just one of those things that keeps popping in my head, like sometimes during dreams. Earliest time I can think of dreaming this was as a kid. I don't remember the last time I dreamed this, but that's probably one of the most vivid dreams that I have. It's just this weird thing where I'm swimming in the earth. So anyway.
Rumor had it on Reddit that they'd wait to call you back at 3 a.m. Perfect, because you already know Ryan's always up. The span of time between when I made the phone call and 3 a.m. felt like an eternity. The only bit of correspondence that I received from them was nothing but a simple automated confirmation text. I was ready for the big guns. Call me back, I just want to talk. Speaking of talking, I host weekly Discord calls as one of my perks for patrons, and it's one of the best things that I've ever done. Interacting with you guys outside of YouTube and on a more intimate level gives me life I never knew I had. All of you are awesome people, and I wanted to thank you for being here. If you're able and would like to join in, it's just $2 a month over at patreon.com/nexpo. Anyway, I was waiting, hyped up and ready. Look who it is. At first glance, I was quick to pass this off as a mistype. It doesn't seem like 9Go 5JIT bears any significance here. But I was wrong. You guys know me. I should have known better. I should have known better. It's Haitian Creole. What the fuck? Now it appears to me that this bears some sort of connection to a mystery surrounding doomsday prophecies that are projected to take place in September of this year. I'm reluctant to label each Redditor here as a cult member, mainly because of the sea of speculation as to what might be happening on that date. The mystery apparently began about 8 months ago. A Redditor named September 5th Survivor would relentlessly spam cryptic messages across various subreddits, all alluding to a doomsday that they heavily believe in due to disturbing dreams that they've had since late 2019. You know, with enough persistence, you can get eyes on anything. And they did. Their efforts started out innocent enough, and with that people passed them off as nothing but an ARG creator or edgelord trying to garner some internet attention. But then it actually started to gain traction. Now, I'll spare you the details and get right down to it. I feel that September 5th Survivor sums up their beliefs pretty well right here. The world is not ending. I've seen much talk of people saying that they think this is an apocalypse group and that the world will end on September 5th, 2020. I'd like to clarify that I've never said the world will end on that date or that an apocalypse is coming. That's not what I've seen in my dreams and visions. Many bad things will happen on September 5th. However, I don't believe the world will end entirely. An apocalypse suggests a large global event, whereas September 5th will consist of many individual events. It concerns me, because if people think this is yet another the end is nigh group, they won't take it as seriously. September 5th is coming. Many bad things will happen. Keep your eye on the 5, stay safe and prepare. 24. To be honest, I can see where the confusion came from. With constant mentions of the number 24, a prophetic dream dimension by the name of the 6th realm, mass misfortune consuming the world on September 5th, and world enlightenment supposedly occurring on May 3rd of 2021, it's easy to get lost in the cryptic vernacular that comes with trying to get such a message out. But back to the core question, why would some sort of prophetic doomsday cult be connected to something like a dream survey? So let's suspend our belief here. Let's take our doomsday conspiracy hats off and let's recap on what we've been through and how the hell it got us here. 2015. The Willamette Valley Dream Survey becomes a thing in Portland, Oregon. The mysteries met with intrigue, and some people went forth to call it. No follow-up, no cryptic text. Also in Portland, a company named Fattel, providing free phone booths to underdeveloped communities with the Willamette Valley Dream Survey mapped to its automated menu. The company has unfortunately not returned my emails. 2020. The Happy Valley Dream Survey resurrects a half-decade-old mystery, but this time in Utah, and the mysteries once again met with intrigue. Both Aliens Did 9LL and One Reddit went forth to call it, and if my personal experience is anything to go by, then they more than likely received follow-ups alluding to September 5th, 2020, a pre-existing mystery that's been ongoing since late 2019. Interestingly, One Reddit repeatedly claimed that it was not Fattel, but the thing is, Fattel wasn't even connected to this arc of the mystery. They're involved with the Willamette Valley version. With this in mind, while I'd love to entertain the possibility of this being some widespread growing conspiracy about an impending doomsday apocalypse that's been predicted since 2015, I don't believe that this entire thing is under the same mystery umbrella at all. I'm heavily leaning on the postulation that either September 5th Survivor or someone involved with the September 5th 2020 mystery stumbled upon the original post about the Willamette Valley Flyers. They realized that it was a mystery that had its time and faded into obscurity, and so they went forth to jump on the opportunity, make their own version in Microsoft Word, and post them around Happy Valley. The fact that the phone number responds in such odd increments of time adds more weight to the potential that there is a person or multiple people behind that phone number sending these cryptic texts out in order to get people to look up the translated version of the dates, encounter the September 5th mystery, spread it around like wildfire, and lead the masses to believe another hoax. Now, I'm no prophet, but I highly doubt anything's gonna happen on September 5th. I'm honestly not even entirely sure why they're doing a dream survey, aside from riding the hype of a prior mystery. To be honest, this arc of the rabbit hole isn't exactly the most exciting or captivating one to me. Portland's is different. That's the real one. I fell into this mystery because of it, and it's continued to perplex me to this day. Unfortunately, I can't pinpoint who's behind this or why they're doing it. Fattel never followed up. One Regis and Aliens Did 9LL are gone, and I have no idea where else to look. It's like I'm jumping through hoops to get any sort of lead here, and it's kicking my ass. I do know one thing though. Fattel's silence is deafening. I'd love to give him the benefit of the doubt regarding my messages, but nah, I know they've seen them. They're just ignoring them. If their Tumblr is anything to go by, it's safe to say that they've been involved in unique art projects before, and this very easily could be one of them. With that in mind, I really think they're connected here. It would just make sense, even if this is nothing but a circumstantial theory. It looks like only time will tell. Someone's out there, and they want your strange dreams. The question is, will you give it to them? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. And good night.